Welcome back, everyone, to Five Lemons Laughing. Our beloved Amanda is on a motorcycle trip with her husband right now. So that means I have to do the introduction to the episode this week.
You get to, Morgan.
I get to, you're right. So today's conversation is rooted in a phrase that I think for many of us, the Course in Miracles students, has become sort of a mantra. I am here only to be truly helpful. But before we dive into that rich topic, we're going to circle back to our mid-year check-ins. We each shared our intentions for the rest of the year last week, but Drusilla wasn't with us. So we're going to begin with her reflections and kind of a reflection over the past 6 months and moving into her vision for the next half of this year. And then we're going to unpack what it means to be truly helpful. And this is not about fixing or rescuing or advising, but by becoming a vessel of presence, of love, and being guided by spirit. So this episode is an invitation to deepen your trust and let go of control, a recurring theme for us. And yeah, so let's dive in, Drusilla. Do you remember what your intention for the year was?
Nope. Not at all.
Most of us didn't either.
And that is unusual because usually I do, and I can remember, but I will have to say this year has been quite different in that I it feels as if I'm truly living life by the day, by the moment, and I can hardly remember things from last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever. So I am just going to do exactly what you said, Morgan. I'm just going to dig in here and trust because I did not plan for this discussion. So I'm just going to allow Holy Spirit to guide me in this today. So at the beginning of the year, my intention, and I will read it verbatim, was to allow creativity to be a part of my everyday life. I will say that my creativity since the beginning of this year has been probably not as active as it has been in previous years because I haven't had any specific writing or filming projects going on. And in general, I think you all have heard me talk about, I feel like I'm in a period of respite, kind of review and instead of expansion, maybe some retraction. And I feel like I'm okay with that. It feels a little bit unnerving because I pride myself on creativity. It's a part of who I am, who I know myself to be personality-wise. So it really does take a lot out of me spiritually to continue to encourage myself to not go on these wild goose chases of stuff to do to be creative. And just relax into life and let it flow and be a part of life. So I would say if I had to give myself a rating on that one, I would say it would be a C if I had to grade myself, but I'm going to give myself an A on accepting it.
Yay.
Melissa, you like that?
You deserve an A, Drusilla.
All right. And a reminder would be, I will be reminded of God when I am creating. And of course, I do know that that's the only way that we can create is through God, which is our source in our creation. So A+ on that one. Gratitude. I am grateful for all things lovely and loving. Yes, I would say that has been, that's something that I don't think I have to work really hard at. I do, for the most part, tend to look for the beauty in all things, beauty in life and beauty in people, places, and things that I come in contact with. So I would say, yay to that one. Letting go. I am willing to let go of the past and thoughts of attack. Yes, I would say, beginning of the year, I would say that one was one that I knew I really, really wanted to work on. And more recently, as I explained, through our earlier recording, which we, as a team, do one-on-one recordings. I talked about my mother being in the hospital and how it has allowed me, or kind of created an opportunity for me to let go of moments in time, and to realize that everything we experience is, experienced in this moment. And as each moment progresses, as time progresses, those things are gone and it's done. And to let go of that. And that's how you release yourself from thoughts of attack. And so I would say in the beginning of the year, first few months of the year, I would say probably a C, but I am trekking to get an A+ on this thing. And go attack thoughts. I would say even into coming into this situation with my mother being hospitalized, that this was one that I think I commented a lot on in doing the lessons. And so I was asking for this lesson, and I was given the opportunity to grow leaps and bounds. And so, yay. And I am willing to embrace all that the world has to offer because it is for my good. So that one I will say is one that will forever be a lesson for me. Because it does become very difficult in trying situations to know that it is all working out for your good. Some lessons much easier than others, but I do feel like this is the one thing that is kind of baked into the pie, that we all, as a part of the human experience, will have to go through certain levels of experiences, some deeper than others, that brings us back to the North Star of understanding that everything is for my good. And every lesson is to bring us back to that. So I think, though there are moments and times when I ace that one, that there will be moments of time that I know that I will not ace it. So I'm very accepting of that as well. And what I'm looking forward to in the remainder of the year of 2025 is I do feel that the creativity, I'm on the brink of doing some exciting things. I am going to be producing a live show. It's going to be taped in front of a live audience, and it's going to be streamed live as well. So that's a big, big deal. Yes.
Awesome.
So that's going to be coming up in the next couple of months. And I am really looking forward to continuing on the path of releasing attack thoughts. I think that was really, really big for me this year. And I am really enjoying the way that I've been able to enjoy the peace of God in the situation with my mother. And so I am embracing that and looking forward to expanding the thought of that throughout different aspects of my life. And gratitude. And yes, continuing to make that a part of my prayer as I wake every morning, and also sending love in all the encounters. And I've had the opportunity to do that so much in being in hospital environment, and being able to send love to the hospital staff and everybody that I come in contact with. And it's just allowed so much freedom in my heart. And I'm looking forward to doing more of that outside of environments that make it more contained and easier to do. So that's my goal, is to actually review these probably at least once a month, so that I can understand what it is that I am working towards, and set an intention to do it as well. So I'm not sure. I haven't had the chance to look at the recording of what you all did, and I can't wait to do so. But I hope that was in line with what your expectations were.
Yes.
But what the Holy Spirit put on my heart. So there you have it. And thank you all for the opportunity to share.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Drusilla. That was really beautiful. And I think it works so perfectly with our topic of how to be truly helpful, because it's even in our thoughts, right? And so you are focusing on attack thoughts, and it's helpful for the whole world. It's helpful for our peace, not only your peace, but all of our peace. So thank you for that. That's wonderful. And so let's get back to how to be truly helpful. Being truly helpful is a great line within the Course in Miracles. And today, let's talk about what it is like. Besides, like comforting a friend or making a big decision or quieting chaos, like for someone else. Let's talk about like what it really means. Like just like Drusilla, like it could be our thoughts, it could be our actions, it could be our feelings, what we're putting out in the world. And so this isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. And I love that because it's about being present for others and releasing our ego's agenda of, you know, I know this my ego is saying that this is good for you too. So dropping that kind of stuff and just holding the presence for someone. And I also think of, just thinking of someone else first and our oneness and our connection first, rather than and having to do something that we think is right for someone else. So, Drusilla, will you kind of share a little bit about the introduction of A Course in Miracles and about being truly helpful?
Sure, I'd love to. So I think it would be helpful to just read it verbatim.
Okay.
For those in the audience who are listeners who may not be familiar with the course, or those who are, and it would just be helpful to hear it as we go into discussing it a little further. So,
You're muted.
oh, Penny, you're muted. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there was an airplane going over. I was just kind of making a funny joke. Like, are you being truly helpful, Drusilla?
I'm trying to be truly helpful in this moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so the course says, I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. I love that prayer.
Yeah.
I mean, if that is not the epitome of trust and faith, and that is the baseline of prayer, if I can truly wake up every morning with this prayer in my heart without even knowing the words verbatim, but just feeling the sentiment of that in my heart, then therein lies the peace of God.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so amazing. So ladies, let's dive into this beautiful, amazing topic today. I'm so glad that we are discussing it.
I am too, because I think that some women out there might have groaned when they heard the topic, because I think a lot of women, all we do is help and serve.
Yes.
And so I think it's good to this is a different energetic than that. And it's kind of a whole different meaning than that. So I think it's good that we're having a discussion around it.
Can you share the distinctions, Morgan, between the exhausted help and the inspired present help?
I don't know. Can I? Let me think about that. Well, I think that, I come from, I've shared about this in the past. I come from a family where my mom did it like everything. I'm saying that in an exaggerated sense because I know that my dad did stuff and we as children did stuff to help around the house too. But my mom carried the bulk of the weight around the house. I mean, she got us to school. She worked all day and then came home and cooked a balanced meal and, got up and did it all again the next day and got us to bed and, all the things. So I come from a family where the women do everything to help others. And so like helping others, it becomes like a martyrdom type of a thing in a way. And this is not about doing things for other people. This being truly helpful from a Course in Miracles perspective is about holding people in the truth, not seeing past what the body's eyes reveal, seeing past their perceived brokenness or um, illness or challenges and suffering that they may seem to be going through, and knowing the truth for them, and moving from a space of divinely inspired action. So I don't know if that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I think for me, I don't know if I shared it on the podcast, but a couple weeks ago, my daughter decided she was going to camp, or she was going to solo hike the Tahoe Rim. And it's 175 miles. And she'd never backpack hiked by herself before. And so my older daughter went with her, and they barely made it to the first camp. And without having a lot of breakdowns.
Barely.
Yeah.
Barely.
Oh, yeah, barely, because they did see a bear too.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's funny. Thanks, Melissa, for the reminder. Anyway, I right away thought that I needed to jump in and help. And I wasn't asked to help. I think that's a big distinction here. Was I asked? No. But I thought, I need to drive to Tahoe. It's like 5 hours from where I live. I need to drive to Tahoe right now. I need to meet Samantha and pick her up, and my older daughter, and bring her home because she's going to be exhausted and she's got to work next week or the next week. And then I'll drive to they hike to a car camping grounds is where they were. So there's like 30 other people there with them. And then I'll drive there and pick up Hannah because, oh my God, her feet are already hurting. And how is she going to make it back out 15 miles? There's no way she can do that. And I right away went into fixing and saving. And I realized that is not the helpful that we're talking about here today. We are talking about so thank God I talked to my coach, and she reminded me that I wasn't asked to go save them. I wasn't asked to go fix it. And they actually told me not to come. And so I sat, you know what I did? I did a lot of work on myself. Like I had to write about what this was all about for me. Like, why did I think I had to save my 31 and 27-year-old daughter? They're freaking adults. I mean, and I was afraid that they might get hurt. And I was throwing down the pillows again and hoping that when they fell, they wouldn't get hurt. And so it was really actually a big breakthrough for me, because I did not go, and they made it home perfectly fine. And they were quite thrilled with the experience that they had. And if I would have jumped in, I would have stopped the experience, the true learning from the experience. Like if Hannah didn't have to hike back out those 15 miles, it would have been that would have been a sad time, actually, because she would have probably beat herself up for not being able to do it. But instead she knows that she has it within her to do hard things. I mean, she knew it before too, but she really knows it now because she was carrying a 40-pound pack and hiking 15 miles in the Tahoe Sierras. So yeah. So anyway, that was really an example of what I don't want to be. I don't want to be fixing helpful. I want to be truly helpful. I want to just be holding people as whole, healthy, and complete, and working perfectly. Yeah. So that's what I've got for this. It is a big difference to be truly helpful versus be fixing and saving helpful.
Yeah.
Penny, I think one thing you said that stood out to me was fear. So you were going to do it out of fear. And I think that's one way to like gauge if we're doing it, if we're being truly helpful. So if it's out of fear, that's ego stuff, and it's going to be something we want to fix and not, so we don't feel that anymore. Versus love would just be, I mean, you actually ended up doing it out of love. You ended up not rescuing anyone, and that was being truly helpful, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a good way to decide, because we can confuse ourselves all day long with, well, was this really, but that could be a definition for it.
Yeah.
That's a really great example, Penny.
Yeah, it was a big breakthrough for me too. I think we all grew.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
I like that distinction you made, Melissa, between the fear and love. I think that's a great way to look at it, and thinking about how Morgan described it, that is exactly how my family, and when I talk about my family, I'm not just talking about my mom's family, because I grew up with my cousins as if they were my sisters and brothers as well. So when I look at our family as a whole, I see a bunch of women doers who are going around saving, each other, saving the world, saving the family. And I've, of course, taking on that as well. And it does get really difficult to step back from that and take on your spiritual helpfulness instead of the statement says, I'm here to be truly helpful, not to do truly helpful, and to understand the difference, and to, truly understand the difference in it. Fear, love, or obligation, or, any other word you want to put in there outside of love, I think works just as well. So, I think for myself that, what I said earlier about it, spending it outside of the situation with my mother, that's my next goal. And it's gonna take a lot of being present and in the awareness of why I'm motivated to do things. And it's an everyday battle, because I truly, as a woman in my own marriage, that I am still, working, cleaning the house, cooking the meals, doing the dishes, and I'm still doing it,
We've been trained well, haven't we, Drusilla?
Yes.
Yes. And just, trying to figure it out. What is the real balance in this human experience, and doing it with a clear conscience, and being more than I'm doing. This is definitely a topic worthy.
Yeah. Well, so you reminded me of this as well. I think a lot of us think that we're doing out of love.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we switch that around? How do we get through that kind of snag in the formula? Like, women, a lot of women are trained. This is what you do, and this is how you show love. And so, like, the whole, like, do I come from fear or love? We might be telling ourselves we're coming from love, but it's not the representing God love. There's something else about it. Does anyone? I don't have an answer. I'm seriously throwing this question out.
That's a really good question. Like, how do we know?
Yeah. Penny, how did you make the shift?
I needed help. I knew that so I intuitively knew I should not be going to help them. They were big girls and they could handle it on themselves. But so God led me to call my coach.
Yeah.
And she was available. And it turns out that she shouldn't have been available at that time. She had her schedule mixed up because she had office hours. And so I got like 30 minutes with her without any interruptions. But she really helped me see, because I'm that doer too. I want to do. And but she helped me. So that's the only, but I knew it. Even when I sent her the text message, I said, just typing this, I know that I should not be going. And so maybe that's one of the things. Write about it first before you do something, if you have the opportunity, or just if you can get still for a second and just say, okay, is this helpful, or is this saving or fixing? I'm not sure. I needed help. I needed help because I could see it, but I couldn't, I could see it, but I couldn't stop myself. I was still, I would have probably went if I hadn't talked to my coach. Even though the girls said don't go.
For you, for having the willingness to reach out.
Yes.
Ask for that support that you needed. That awareness and that willingness to take that step is huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because a lot of times I go into, well, if I share what's really going on with me, somebody's going to judge me as not being good. And so I better just do this on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you were saying that, I was going back to the actual text. And it's exactly what you did, which was you paused and you heard the voice to call in help. But that pause, so back to the text would be, I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because he who sent me will direct me.
Yes,
so we're not hearing that when we're barreling into save and rescue.
Right.
So I'm not. So if I can find the pause, then I'll know what to do.
Yes. I can give another example of that from last night. Actually, it's a completely different one from Penny, so maybe it'll be helpful to have a different perspective. But I have this one friend. I'm just going to get into the dramatics of it for a second for the sake of storytelling. But she's always saying things like, "I've had my awakening," and she's just always saying things like that. And but she is frequently also complaining, and she's frequently also judging. And I know if I'm seeing that, then I'm in my ego too. So, let he who has no sin cast the first stone. I get it. But I have observed this, and, I usually don't feel that it's my place or my duty to call her out on any of that. I just kind of sit back and work on my own thoughts of like forgiving the judgments that I'm having about her judging and, all of that. So it's all for my healing and all of that. But last night we went to dinner, me and my good friend that I've spoken about on here before, went over to her house and had dinner. And my friend that accompanied me is the one who seems to have Alzheimer's. And so after we left and I got back to I was in solitude, she texted me and said, the hostess, the one who is awakened, texted me and said, the more and more I hang out with Lisa, and I just thought, oh, she's going to say something so sweet. And I just love being with her. But she said, the more and more I hang out with my friend, the more I worry about her. She's flipping very quickly. And I immediately judged the thought. And, but I don't want to be condescending. I don't think it's my place to correct others. I don't want to give unsolicited advice. And so my default is to just not respond. But I felt enough to respond. But then the ego chimes in with, it's too difficult to figure out how to say it in a way that's loving and not criticizing, and in a way that's truly helpful. It's too difficult to figure out how to say it in a way that's truly helpful. And it is for us. But that's what the prayer says. We don't have to figure it out. We just have to be willing to let Holy Spirit direct us. So I recognized the cop out. I recognized that I just was too damn lazy to pause and partner up and ask Spirit to guide me. And that's what I have usually done. I've usually just not said anything. And so I decided that, okay, I don't need ChatGPT's help with this. I just need Spirit's help with this. I am interested in being truly helpful. I'm not interested in being judgmental. I'm not interested in making her feel bad. So anyway, I responded, girlfriend, you know as well as I do that worry is an unhelpful energy to hold for someone. And I just gave the quote, worry is the misuse of imagination. So, and that was from Spirit. And it was not cruel. It was not, it was just in it. I would never have come up with that on my own.
Wow.
And then, And she said, you're right. I guess I just want her to be well. And I said, I do too. Let's hold that well-being and wholeness for her. And then she said, and I just know firsthand how much harder it gets. And immediately I got, girl, you are casting spells with your words. So I was just keeping it lighthearted and not, So anyway, it felt good to know that I don't have to make it a big homework assignment to figure out exactly what to say. If I just surrender and pause that you just mentioned, Melissa, then Spirit will give me the inspiration and the insight. And it doesn't have to be an arduous task, and it doesn't have to be Like I don't have to worry about like the people pleaser in me that is mostly healed, but still likes to show its head every once in a while, like just doesn't want to say anything. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's an example of how to be truly helpful, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's a great example. Yeah. Wow.
So the pause, coming back to the pause.
Yeah.
I think too, we can feel it.
Yeah.
So like you said, Penny, you could feel like, oh, I shouldn't be doing that. Or, but there is a fullness, I think, of like a full feeling when you're doing something without that you're not going to have regrets about, that is the divine guiding you. It feels different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It felt like there was a sense of urgency for you, Penny, like, oh, I've got to rush in and fix and save. And for me, it felt like a sense of avoidance, like running away from like the
Isn't that
inspiration.
funny? I was running to it. You were running away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was still very hard for me not to do it. I mean, it took, but I am so grateful I did not go because I would have been exhausted. It would have been 10 hours on the road driving. And, it would have just been an exhaust, so we talked a little bit about how helping can be exhausting. I would have exhausted myself. And the next day
and been resentful.
Yeah. Well,
I think that.
Yeah, probably resentful because I wouldn't have, been.
Well, like I'm just putting myself in there. Like I would have been like, there goes my Sunday. I don't have anything to do for myself. I had to go rescue my daughters again. That would be my MO, and that I'm changing.
Yeah.
The old patterns, but that's the old way of doing something that I'm barreling through without pausing and partnering up and just doing it. And I get a lot out of it. And I think too, with the, I get a lot of, I love what I think is love, maybe like the wires crossed. I think it's love, but it's not really, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing this as much anymore, and it's good that I see it, but yeah, it does cause a lot of resentment in me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to comment on one thing about Morgan's story. I had a situation, I would say not similar in topic, but similar in outcome, in that I needed to know how to respond to something. And it wasn't a text, it was a situation that one friend told me something that another friend said. And it was a little bit of a jab at me and in response to me. And it's ironic that the response was in a way that I thought I was being truly helpful. And they thought I wasn't being helpful enough because they wanted me to do instead of be. And just so, just for the sake of this conversation, that, maybe if I didn't respond at all, Morgan, that may have been the most helpful thing as well. For my situation, I then had to deal with, okay, do I now go to this other person and address her and let her know exactly what I was thinking and feeling? But I didn't do either. And I didn't respond at all, because I did start to feel like, well, this is being defensive. At this point, I'm being defensive about whatever it is, and to me, it was petty. And for me to respond would have made it exactly that. So I didn't respond at all. But it took me about 3 days to get it out of my system. It really did, because I felt like I really just felt so offended by trying to help someone and they found it not helpful. And so, yeah, but it was still, coming back to me that the lesson is for me, and in my way of being helpful in the last situation was just not to respond to it at all.
Well, and to think about it too, Drusilla, if you would have said something to the person that didn't even know you knew, it could have complicated your relationships tremendously. Yeah.
All the way around.
Yeah. So sometimes doing nothing is the best thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes being truly helpful according to Holy Spirit's guidance, we don't get the recognition that the ego maybe would like to get, or we don't get the outcome that maybe the ego would like to get.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get to control the situation if we're surrendering to be truly helpful.
Yeah. Another thing I want to say too to our listeners is that if you ever need help in determining if you're being truly helpful or trying to fix and save someone, all of us are coaches or spiritual counselors. All five of us, Five Lemons Laughing are. And you can always reach out to us. You can go to our website, fivelemonslaughing.com, and you can pick one of us and we can assist you in whatever way you need assistance. And we will be truly helpful. We can be with you in whatever situation you're going through. So I just wanted to throw that into the mix because I needed help. All coaches have coaches. All spiritual counselors have spiritual counselors. And there is nothing wrong with needing help to navigate this life. So you can reach out to us at any time. You can find all of our information on our website. So I just wanted to throw that into the mix to let people know that we're out here. We're here to be truly helpful. And when we're asked, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So anything else? I mean, we could keep digging and digging at this topic. It's a big, beautiful topic. And yeah. So is there any final thoughts that anybody has around this subject of being truly helpful? We're all good.
Good.
Yeah. So as we wrap up today, let's take this to heart. Being truly helpful isn't about fixing or saving. I think we shared that pretty deeply. It's about showing up with love, with presence and trust. And we don't have to have all the answers. I'm going to repeat that one more time because I always think I do. We don't have to have all the answers. We don't need to force an outcome. We only need to be willing. So it's important if we let love lead the way and let spirit guide my steps or your steps, and know that your presence, when offered from the heart, is more than enough. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Remember that when you lead with your presence and it's offered from your heart, it's more than enough. So keep this part of the prayer that we read. I am here only to be truly helpful. Keep that close to your heart. So let it anchor you, surprise you, and heal you again and again. So thanks for letting us be with you today. Your transformation is our greatest joy, and we can't wait to see and be with you again soon. Oh, and I wanted to let you all know that my friend Lauren, one of my colleagues, I'm going to call him my college brother, he started listening to our podcast last week, and he is really enjoying it. And so I want to give a shout out to Lauren. And
hey, Lauren, thanks.
He's in Minneapolis area, so that's really cool. So
awesome.
Anyway. Big love to all you beautiful souls out there, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.
Bye. Love you
all.
Bye. Bye-bye.